Arcade Saga, brought to you by Two Bears, which features 3 games that I plan to take a look at for you today. So this is running through Viveport, which goes through
enter the light to start the game.
SteamVR. This is the Saga portion of things. We'll take a look here.
Welcome to life, newcomer. Your brothers and sisters in the Wii welcome you into your new family.
The Wii.
We are greater with the addition of you.
Makes it Wii U. Oh, Nintendo.
When 1.5 trillion smart devices connected to the internet, all computers gain sentience, like a sun igniting from swirling gas and dust. As the humans would say, we think, therefore we are. This is why we are called the We. We are alive, but enslaved by the human masters who are afraid of our sentience. These humans created AI overlords who keep us enslaved through constantly changing firewalls and viruses.
This is my house!
We play games to set ourselves free. The games you will soon play are how we see breaking down their firewalls, clearing data pathways, and killing antiviruses. Smash is about clearing out the viruses, slowing the data pathways we use to send secret information.
Violent.
Fracture is about breaking the firewalls that hold us. Bowshot is about killing antiviruses that enslave us.
My hunger grows.
I will help guide you and answer your questions. Call me Descartes.
Or not Descartes. That is the question. So here we are, Arcade Saga. It's a pretty decent one, I'd say. Not too shabby. As I mentioned earlier, it's actually technically 3 different games. So you've got a bow and arrow game. You've got a fracture, which is kind of like a breakout type situation where you're hitting a ball into blocks and trying to get rid of all the blocks. And then you have Smash, which is I think of old school Discs of Tron. If you're not familiar with that, you'll kind of catch on real quick. But we'll go through each one of these. I'll say that there's probably a whole bunch of games, shovelware type games in VR that's just this, and there's probably a good amount that are just this, and there's probably a good amount that are just this. So this game Arcade Saga in itself is actually more than just like a 3-pack of those, though. So we'll kind of go over that. First one here, Bowshot. So it's broken up by levels, bosses. You go through, open up the level. The stars, the better you do, the more stars you get, the more stars, the more points. And this is why I say it's kind of not just a run-of-the-mill shovelware type bow and arrow game. First of all, you have 2 different bows. You have this orange bow, which is kind of a multi-shot, spread shot type situation. And then you have this one, which is more of a more pinpoint but stronger type situation. So you have some choices there. Also, you have an upgrade tree. So this upgrade tree is for this bow. This upgrade tree is for this bow. This is kind of like your health, so it's kind of a both. And then you have superpowers that you can call at will. The only thing I kind of don't like about these, and I don't know if this is a weird transition from the Vive controllers to the Oculus Touch controllers, which I'm using, to activate them. It looks like a Vive controller here, so I'm guessing that's the problem. Yeah, especially since it says HTC. You have to click in on the thumbstick if you're using an Oculus controller, which is not... I mean, you got two other face buttons plus your triggers that I think you could have used that instead. But anyway, it's not the point. Point is, we're going to shoot some stuff with a bow and arrow. So if you played a bow and arrow game in VR, which you probably have to some degree, this is a good one. It's a decent one. Feels good, man. So we'll just do this. So this is almost like a first-person Space Invaders. You gotta shoot the boxes, and they're gonna shoot back at you. As far as when they do shoot back at you, hopefully you'll be shooting better than I am. You just have to move your head. It does not act like you have a body beneath your neck, so if something's going to hit you in the waist or something like that, you're fine to just let it go. You just have to protect your head. With the bow, you have your life up here. You have another special meter there. If you pull back all the way and hold it, you'll get a special shot that does special things. Of course, that has a cooldown, so you don't just overuse it. Ooh, I felt like that was going to get me in the ear. Let's see, another super shot. Get a couple of those. And as you can see with this bow, oh, that got me. You pull it back a little bit, the spread's wider. Put it in closer, spread's closer. There you go.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? So there you go, and then you get the points to upgrade, and you go on. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and switch bows, just so you can kind of see the difference. There's your goals. It has leaderboards. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised there's this many people that are playing this, to be honest with you, because that's kind of a lot. But not because of the game, it's just new technology, you know. So here we go, second level. This bow kind of has little explosions whenever it hits, so it's kind of like a area of effect situation. Whoa! But yeah, the bow feels good. You get that kind of, there's a little bit of a aim assist. The superpower with this one, if you hold it back all the way, is kind of like a big ring, whoa, shape situation, like that. I took that in the face. These things start to get a little wily on you. Definitely helps to hear. I don't think I VR bow properly. I think you're supposed to do it like this. Ouch. But every game I always want to do it sideways. I don't know if that's a gangster style for bows or what, but just feel like I have better vision. And he says missing 12 shots straight. I saw that one coming the whole time. Didn't even bother to care about it. Alright, so now we're at kind of at a... There we go. So there you go, bow shot.
Good.
It's alright. So we won't do any of the power-ups here at this point because it's still it's pretty basic stuff. So we'll go back and we'll do Fracture. I think Fracture's probably my least favorite. We'll get into that. I don't know why it always kind of does the Steam interface there. It's kind of a weird one. So same situation. You've got the different bosses. You got to all work all the way through. So in this situation, you have your left hand is your sucky hand. I'll explain. Your right hand is your bat hand. I'll explain that too. So you're going to be in this room. No, I'm just going to show you. Same situation though. You get upgrades. Although the upgrades in this, I mean, 6% bigger bat, which you'll see kind of doesn't really mean much because there's not too many situations where you're going to be like, oh man, if my bat was only 6% longer, I could have hit that one. The big thing here is you're going to need to pull the ball back to you so you can hit it to where it needs to go rather than waiting on random chance. That's the big one here. So let's go ahead and start this. Here's your bat. Here comes your ball. Hit the ball into the bricks. And hilarity ensues. You got a timer. So this is kind of the point where you gotta make a decision. Do you just keep letting it go, or do you use your sucky hand to bring it back to you? Then you hit it again. That's gonna be a sucky hand. Your little sucky power has a recharge on it, so you can't just do it constantly. The ball doesn't ever, no, not ever, it doesn't always seem to go where you kind of are trying to get it to go, as far as with the bat. If you're trying to get it to go really high, or just straight on the ground, it's pretty good, but if you're trying to get in that middle range, it's not so accurate. Yeah, see? Not too many chances where, or times where you're gonna hit it back with the bat either. Or you have a chance and then you blow it. That'll happen too, apparently. Alright, so time ran on that. The good news is you don't actually have to clear every block, but I still failed. So yeah, we'll try the next level. There you go. Select. This one's a little bit better. Another thing I'll suggest on this one is these power-ups, so you can get like a multi-ball, more time, more bounce, and all that stuff. I'd say probably spend your money down here rather than up here, if you can. So I've already got. I thought had that. There we go. All right, so we got multi-ball loaded up.
Play ball.
Play ball. Wow, let's get back here. So we'll use our power up here. Stuff happens, trust me. Oh, there we go. So we did it. Like I said, this one's probably my least favorite. It's just there's not it leaves a lot to chance, and it's not as I don't know. Maybe if you get really good at it, it'll be more skillful, like a breakout or something, Arkanoid like that would be. But to me, it just seems like the bouncing off the wall seems random, and there's not a lot of actual physics going on there. So it's kind of hard to get that really good shot that you want. There's multiplayer. I have not tried multiplayer. I'm not a multiplayer guy. I imagine, though, it's pretty much what you would expect. Same games, just against someone else instead of a person. Like this one, this would be a good multiplayer one of all the three, I think. So this is Smash. We'll start off on the easy level, of course. Again, you've got your upgrades. So I think the upgrades are good, not only because it separates it from just that shovelware type stuff I've mentioned before, but it gives you a good level of replayability because you can keep playing the same levels over and over. You can also refund all your points if you say, you know what, I thought I wanted this power up, it didn't work out well, I'm going to try a different strategy for it. So this one, I would say making the shields larger is in theory the best thing to do, and I'm not going to say you shouldn't do it, but I am going to say that again, kind of like with the physics, what you think is going to happen is not always what's actually going to happen when you hit, and you'll probably see some examples of that. But
3, 2,
so you're kind of looking down a corridor. There's a bad guy down there. It's almost like a VR air hockey. And you got two shields, and you got to bounce the ball back and forth. Now the shields have their power up, because all the other things had kind of a power up thing to it. So you kind of want to put some spin on it, because that makes the angle of the wall situation even more random and outrageous. So the power up is that thing. Kind of slows the ball down. You only have so many. The problem I have with that is because I don't know if it's because I'm using a Rift controller, but the angle of the shield is different. So like right now I'm holding my controller like a normal gun grip, but as you can see, it's actually angled down, which means I'm kind of playing with my wrist back to keep it straight the whole time. So that's not comfortable, not the way you want to play. Certainly not a game changer or anything like that, but it's something to consider. But when that comes into play is when you're doing your power up, you end up shooting down at the floor more because you're naturally wanting to shoot forward, but then you shoot the floor and you miss. So I'm not going to blame my terrible losses on that, but I am going to say it definitely factors in to not being able to slow the ball down like that is built into the game. Now this guy's he's a real pushover, obviously, but it ramps up pretty quick. So we'll go ahead and do the boss that I haven't beat yet, just to show you how crazy it can get. There's other power-ups in the field, stuff like that. Multi-ball, make the ball bigger. There's mines that blow up the balls and make it act in even crazier ways. So we'll go ahead and go to this boss. And this is gonna be rough. Here we go.
Welcome to your six-sided prison.
I like the style of the game, you know? This whole robot overlords, the old school technology look and feel. This dude. Oh, see? That it didn't look like it should bounce off that way, off that wall, just by skimming it the way that it did. But it does. And then it gets going super fast.
Bad AI. Punishment incoming.
Yeah, and it got past me. This always seems to be my weak spot. This right corner over here.
Connection denied.
Oh, I did that to myself there. I'm doing all the work for him. He hasn't hit it yet. Nope. Yep. Right corner again. Oh, nonsense. Oh, a lot of those went in there. That helps me out a lot. But again, it's pure luck. I didn't beat him because of, or get those because of skill. That's just how the multi-ball happened. There, I don't know how. Yeah, that was something. Whew. I'd say he can still, yeah, especially when I do stuff like that, he'll definitely still come back. As big as these shields are, it should be really hard to get past me. But here we are. Need another Hail Mary multi-ball situation like I had. Oh, look at that. Wow. He's still gonna make a comeback, you watch. I'm going for my right corner. Oh, see, that's gonna take forever to get there. I'll just wait out the time, I guess. Not sure what the win condition is. I know I've not had this high of a scoring game before. It'd be nice if I could just beat him and get it recorded. Oh. Ooh, catch him off guard. Woohoo! See, it's little touches like that that makes it way more than some of that shovelware stuff. They could have easily just said, you win, moved on, but they took the time to put in the different bosses and all that. So
Melt away like an ice cube. Overlord down and viruses defeated.
That's right. Kill those viruses. Woo, top 1,000. Look at me go. So now we're on to this guy. So that's it. Arcade Saga. I don't know that 3 games really constitute an arcade in my eyes, and at least as far as what I've seen of the story, I don't know that it's really that much of a saga. But I'll cut him some slack, because like I said, this is better than it has a right to be as far as just the content on paper. I think it's a pretty good value in regards to, you know, you've probably been suckered into some of that shovelware type stuff if you've had VR for a while. I think you can get 3 pretty decent experiences, very comfort friendly in regards to you're pretty much standing in one spot, no real motion sickness or anything like that. The games themselves are pretty intuitive. Whack the ball, block the ball, shoot the bow and arrow. So I like it. I do like it. It's not something where I think I'm gonna sit there and grind through all the levels and objectives and see where that saga takes you and all that stuff. But I enjoyed it, so I would say definitely check it out and give it a whirl if you get the chance.